Hi everybody, welcome back. We're at the Red Deer College Arts Atrium, and I'm really pleased today to be joined by Jen, the chef de mission for Team BC. Jen, welcome.
I'm really thrilled to be here on Dave's Diary. Thank you.
Jen, we're getting close to wrapping up week one. The team sports are getting into quarterfinals where things are getting, the stakes have been ratcheted up a little bit in their games. How are things going so far, and what are you looking forward to as we wrap this week up?
As you mentioned, we're coming into some really great performances. We've seen some personal bests. We've seen really people rising to the occasion and really taking in the full environment and making the most out of it. And so we're expecting that to carry through. And then, yeah, as you said, we've got some big team sports, ringette and hockey coming down the chute as well. Our boxing team is ready to go, like just across the full slate. The next couple days are going to be absolutely incredible, and we're ready to cheer. The cheer team is also ready to go.
That's great. And Jen, I know you and all the rest of the chefs do a ton of preparation. We have you out here for 2 mission visits before the games. You do a ton of preparation back home. But even with all that preparation, there's surprises. And what has surprised you about coming to Red Deer in these games?
You talk about all that preparation, but our biggest surprise was how prepared Red Deer was for this. Beyond the host society, who have been like seamlessly working through the small issues that are bound to come up and have been just like an absolute pleasure to work with. They've been fantastic. I think the biggest surprise has been with the volunteers. We always, in Canada Games, we go into the communities and you always deal with just really with volunteers that are so appreciative that people are coming to their community, that they get to tell their story. And that's always the case, but Red Deer is just that next level. We were joking around saying that they must have gone through like smiling training, because every time you walked in this venue, they would just beam. Yep. And they wanted to do everything they could to show how welcome you were and how willing they were to just to move mountains to make things happen for you.
So speaking of volunteers, how amazing they are. How many times has a volunteer done something nice for you and then at the end said thank you?
Yes.
Like all the time, right?
We make a point of, we thank and acknowledge volunteers whenever we see them. So if we're leaving a venue, thank you to the transport person that's in the parking lot that is working in some cold conditions. We thank them, and they're always like, oh no, thank you. I'm like, no, we're trying to,
You're the one standing
we're trying
below.
to be, express our gratitude. And it's maybe it's a Canadian character flaw, but we can't seem to just have a one-way thank you.
So back home, when your day job, you lead sport tourism for Burnaby.
Correct.
And using that lens and knowing what you know about sport tourism and what it can do for a community, what have you seen in Red Deer that you know will be a great legacy for them in their sport tourism planning?
I have to say, I do look at it from a Burnaby lens. Burnaby is approximately the same size, and so I can't help but to draw comparisons. So first of all, like, no questions asked, the Harris Building is absolutely incredible, and that legacy from a venue and developing capacity, that is going to carry on for decades and decades, and that is the real gem to Red Deer in terms of venue. Obviously the new residents and creating more space for accessible spaces for students, that's going to have an incredible impact on RDC here. So those are the big and the tangible parts, but I think what you're going to see is what the social and the sport legacy is going to carry on in this community for really decades. Those volunteer jackets, the bronze and red jackets, those are going to be around in the community and going to be a point of pride. We saw it in Vancouver in 2010. People still wear that blue jacket as to demonstrate their pride in community and what we were able to deliver on. And I think those red and gold jackets are going to be the blue jackets from the Vancouver Olympics and Paralympics. So I think you're going to see that in the community. They're going to have developed all this capacity to deliver major events. So I'd imagine they have really a full slate of events that they want to bring to this community. And then it's also inspiring that next generation. That I can imagine for Red Deer, some kids never thought they were going to see a short track speed skating event at this caliber, that they're going to have exposure to wheelchair basketball at this level. And the kids of Red Deer, I'm so excited for them to see the opportunities that they're going to have in their community, that they're going to be able to see something at these games and be like, that is really cool. Like, archery is just going to light them up, and that they're going to be able to pursue that, and that might not have been available to them had they not hosted these games. So games like Canada Games really hit that triple line of an economic benefit to the community, a social, and a sport, and they're all equally as important. If you have one, you haven't really executed and maximized the opportunity, but Red Deer has fired on all cylinders. And yeah, the legacy is going to be decades in the making.
That's great, Jen, and thanks for that perspective. And I think it's an incredible to hear you bring that from what you work so hard on every day in Burnaby and seeing them have that come to fruition here in Red Deer. So, Jen, thanks for your time. Thanks for all you're doing here at the Canada Games to support Team BC and support the entire Canada Games family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
You
Thanks.
too.
Good job.